This is interesting. So my camera's not working on my computer. So it's being used by something else. So I have to, another app is using it or something. So I deleted the other ones. I don't know. Anyway, I'll look into that later. So I wanted to do a read. A reading on what we're doing collectively as far as transmuting. So I had a conversation the other night, it wasn't last night, the night before, with a young lady, Shaylee, I don't know where your email address went. I hope you watch this. I don't know where your email address went. I went last night because I was going to email you, and it's gone. It's our whole conversation, except for your email address. It was the strangest thing. I'm trying to think what email address I'm using with this one. So I will decide, because I have like a couple email addresses, which one to give you. But I hope that we can communicate. So I go and I watch Sabrina doing the rewilding, and she was talking about the unforbidden, or the forbidden, not the unforbidden, but the forbidden masculine. It was an amazing video. I really would love to work with that with you. In fact, I even started using some of what she was talking about, as far as going into, to the masculine. Of course, as we know, it's both our, this card comes up today. I was doing a reading, really quick reading for somebody, and this card comes up today. So it's our father issues. And of course we know it says your personal power, not true, but your personal power increases as you give any father related issues to heaven, right? So I'm really feeling like, and then this card came out. This is for a whole nother reading. Innocence, right? And leadership. This is for a whole nother reading, but they're catching my attention. So anyway, so Shaylee and I were talking about doing a Zoom, and really talking about the forbidden masculine, the really, even we'll say the dark, the dark sexual cravings and urges of a man, right? Which always is there's a match, right? There's the masculine and the feminine. So there's like the dark goddess, right? So then there's the dark masculine. And to really talk about the importance of that, rather than a shaming experience, to really pull that out into the light and the importance of it. We're here today on earth because we're in this, as everybody knows, we're in this major purification cycle, right? We've never made it to this point ever in our history. We keep on blowing ourselves up. Lemuria, continent under the sea. Atlantis, continent under the sea, right? Mars. It's like that. Yeah, that didn't work out very well. So, and everybody has their own ideas about, these experiences in our history. But the whole idea is we get it. We get that the Bible, what's it called? The flood. That was a reset. We just have to keep on resetting and resetting. We have never made it this far on earth. This is a time that is unprecedented. And we all showed up to do this, right? And we have to, so it's like, we have this us against them, and I get caught up in it. I get caught up in it too. But we have to have polarity in order to have the grand rising, the great purification. So even though it's like we have this idea that people are going against us, and they are, but then they're for us, right? Because they are having us tap in to parts of us that we wouldn't have done unless, our lives were in danger, or we were just really, really uncomfortable, right? So I really want to look into that. I really wanted to look into that right now, and what we're doing collectively. So I'm going through. I watch a lot of readings. Sometimes not even. It's like I really don't. Sometimes it's like I just want to listen to a reader. It's like because the reader is talking my same language, right? It's about understanding symbology, understanding that, the universe is always communicating with us, that our spirit guides are always communicating with us, that we're protected, that we're guided, that we're doing this, we're in this grand rising. So sometimes I'll just pop in and watch a little bit of a reader just to kind of connect. It's like I don't have any questions about my life. It's like I get it. It's like you just keep on hearing the same thing. It's like, there's really no big difference. It's like until I clear this energy, until I transmute and move on, I'm going to be in the same energy. So I was listening to one young lady, and she was crying. She's a reader, and she was crying because the messages that were coming to her were really, really sad. They really had her emotional. And so I just started sending her love, and I just started helping her transmute what she was working with. She wanted to be of service, so she was helping somebody. She has no idea who this person is, or these people. It was a couple people in her reading, a couple situations in her reading. So I just went in and joined that, and I thought, wow, that's what I'm here for. That's what we're here for, to join in together collectively. And we've been doing that. That's what the readings are about, right? Guiding each other, teaching. And like every reading that in fact, I just did a real quick reading for someone. And it was so interesting that what was coming out, it's like, hey, I can relate to myself. I'm like, well, this is not about me. This is not about me. This is about somebody else. I'm asking a question for somebody else. But it's like we're 99.9% the same. We grew up with we were raised, we were conditioned, we were indoctrinized by the same media, right? Pretty much. There's a particular group of individuals who pretty much, I don't know how to say it, kind of, hit things and say, okay, we want you to know this. We don't want you to know this. We just want you to know this, right? So there was we're pretty much all under that kind of that scope, I want to say. One of the readers, and I wanted to make a comment, Spiritual Sag. I wanted to make a comment, but her comments are off. But she said that she was binge watching Anne with an E, Anne of Green Gables. I cannot believe they only went to 3 seasons with that young lady. She is so freaking amazing. She is so starseedish. She is like a starseed in the 1800s, right? Was it 18? Yeah, I think late 1900s, early 1900s. But anyway, she's such a starseed. It's like 3 seasons and that's it. So when she said she was binge watching that, I was just like, oh my god, I wanted to join in with her in the glory of Anne with E is an amazing young lady, and we can all relate to those who have the starseedness in us. We can relate to her. I mean, it's like, it was so cute. She's her first day of school. She's all excited. She's an orphan. She's in this family now, and school's starting. So she was going to go to school, and she decides that her hat was too plain. So she stopped and she picked all these wildflowers and put them all in her hat, And she's like, she's telling her one friend that she met during the summer, well, I just kind of felt like my hat was kind of plain. So, but in her mind, in her beautiful, creative, in touch with the invisible, she was an orphan. She had to learn to she was alone. She knew she wasn't alone. She didn't live alone. She had relationships with the trees. She named trees. The water was alive to her. Everything was alive to her, right? Very starseedish, right? So she's wearing this crazy hat, and she does not fit in, and so she started to realize she wasn't fitting in, but she didn't realize that she was always in an orphanage or something, or working as pretty much a maid for somebody, caretaker for their kids. So she had not been to I want to say normal school where, but anyway, so I thought that just reminds us, I think that's just us. How many times did we go do something because we're communing with Mother Earth, right? We're communing with the universe. We're communing with Father Sky. We understand everything's alive. We experience everything's alive. So then we show up someplace and it's all good for us. And then it's not. Everybody's like, people getting comfortable. I think it's not so much that we're weird, because it starts to get on my nerves, this whole thing that I'm weird, because I'm not. Let's put that little pointer, right, the little arrow, the little pointer, let's put it where it belongs. I'm not the problem. I'm not the source of uncomfortableness. The source of uncomfortableness, let's put that back on you, is your closed-mindedness, right? If someone puts flowers in their hat, it's like, oh my God, they're so weird. Oh my God, I don't know if I can talk to this person. I really feel like that in that closed-mindedness, it's because not being connected to nature, not being connected to everything that we are. And we are everything. We are the mountaintop. We are the ocean. We are the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. Da, 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 right? So anyway, not to badger those. But we came here to go against the grain. We came here to have communications with legions of angels and masters and our cosmic friends. We not only came here to communicate, we came here to do what they're teaching us to do. They're taking us to a higher level of humanness. They're changing our DNA. It's some of the food that I can't even really eat. Some of the food that I used to eat. It's Mother's Day tomorrow, and I'm just like, okay, what am I going to eat? So I'm just going to go, and I don't know, I think maybe, do I bring my own salad? I don't know, because, I don't know, I don't know, I mean, I want a hamburger, of course, but how am I going to feel afterwards, it's like, I want some French fries, but how am I going to feel? Because what's going on is, my body can't take it. My body can't take it because my body is moving out of density into light, to a lighter, light body. Right? I was just listening to Sadhguru, and he was talking, which we all know, he was talking about, but he was saying it in his language, and which is, the Vedic, whole Vedic experience, Ayurveda and all that. For thousands and thousands of years, right? So he was talking about if you cook something and you want to eat it within 90 minutes, because then it starts to, I don't know how he worded it, but basically he was talking about food either energizes us or slows us down, pretty much, right? So we know that if we go eat a bag of Cheetos, we know that the additives, and it's going to slow our digestive system down. Whatever's going on in our digestive system is going on in our brain and in our energetic system, right? We understand that. So I was like, what? An hour and a half? How interesting. So I'm not going to cook, because I'm used to cooking big meals, right? I'm just accustomed to make a whole lot of food for a whole lot of Mexican kids, Mexican elders and Mexican brothers and sisters, and, just feed them, you know. So I'm thinking, I think I'm just going to do a little bit of beans. I'm going to do a bean, something. I got all these beans. And I bought some Anaheim chili, so I'm going to do some, like, I always soak my beans in apple cider vinegar, my legumes in baking soda, because that balances out the acid. So if you don't eat beans because of acid, because we're moving into the alkaline family, yeah, I've been doing that for some time, and I'll share. I'm gonna start doing more. I keep on saying that, and I'm just having trouble. I'm spending more time trying to have a consistent stream. So I download something, it throws off my camera, I delete it, and then I can see my camera. Last night it's like, okay, my video's working, the light turns on, then I go to YouTube, it says your camera is the app is being used by something else. So I may do a system restore. I think I'll do a system restore, and go back like last week or something like that to get everything back. So anyway, we came here to clean up Earth, to clean. There's some of us that are environmentalists, and we clean up, through the nature, actual physical nature, and then some of us come to do we're transmuters. We transmute energy. So that was the subject that we had talked about, and then we're leaving a patriarchal paradigm, right? So, and we're not going back into a matriarchal, because there was a matriarchal at one point, and we're not going into a matriarchal. We're going into a unification and integration of divine masculine and divine feminine. Interesting. Because there was a famine for quite some time with the feminine, right? And the famine, oh my God, Sabrina Rewilding, she does a Facebook group, she has so many YouTube videos. That woman is just on fire. It took me about a half an hour or so to just kind of mellow out after watching her. I mean, I was like on top of a mountain, just, she was talking about the forbidden masculine, and it was so beautiful because she was talking about the innocence of a boy. And then he sees, he sees this beauty, which is the feminine, right? And he has all these feelings, and and then he expresses them, and then he gets shamed. So it's about, as women, we don't want to be forbidden to be women, so we must not forbid men to be in their power, and they're going to be as clumsy as we are. As we have been in our feminine, because it's like getting out of, even my masculinity, which is toxic masculinity, if it's not balanced, right? That's a challenge. It feels like I can't give that up, because then I'm just so vulnerable. But I understand vulnerability, the beauty of vulnerability. And I got a list here. Oh, that's from another thing. I have a list here to share these videos on my my playlist. And one of those was Brene Brown talking about the importance of vulnerability. So when we get into vulnerability, we get into our feminine. So vulnerability is like the balancing out, So these she says to go back to your son or your brother or your nephew or your grandson, their innocence, and so what I've been doing is I've been keeping men there, in their innocence, understanding that that's not how they know themselves, but I've been practicing that, and I'm allowing myself to feel the attraction to their strength. So their strength gets confusing, right? Because there's that toxic masculinity, just like it's confusing for my own, when I'm doing toxic masculinity, right? But ultimately, I'm innocent, right? I was created pure, and that's available to me as soon as I choose to relinquish anything that is not love, right? And that is my process right now. So, but yeah, that was an interesting experience yesterday. You know, every man that I would encounter, and I was out and about for a while, and I thought it was. I live really close to a homeless shelter, and there's, we know what's in our town. We just got tents. It's like so many tents. The whole any land that is not occupied is occupied by tents now. So I experienced a lot of homeless men, along with women, of course. So I had this one gentleman who was coming from that area, and he sees me and he's like, "Oh my God, you're here." He says something like, "You're look at her." He was talking to somebody. "Look at her salt and pepper hair." And he was like, "Is that natural?" I said, I go, "Yes, it is." So he was just like, really just like, "Wow, that is so cool." So I really just joined in with his innocence, and just like, this is all new, and just like exploring and discovering his masculinity, for the purpose that what we do is, as Way of Mastery and Way of Heart students, is we cultivate and we practice, and what we're moving into is seeing the oneness of us all, right? Because that's when that's when we can walk on water, right? Because we're in the oneness with everything, all the powers, right? Which is the power of water, the power of fire, the power of wind, the power of earth, right? The regenerative power of soil. I mean, we put a seed in some soil, and we water it, and we keep it. How would you say? Keep it. There's cultivate it, and we do all that, and we have food. We have plant life, right? So I've got this right here. And if you look at that, there is a person in the middle. So you see, like in a yoga pose. So the idea of that is the idea of this picture, and this is the tree of life, that we are this tree. So each day there is a morning communion and there is an evening communion, and today is a Saturday. So it's the angel of eternal. No, that's okay. Saturday morning, that would be earth. So that would be the bottom, right? The roots. Wait. Trying to do too many things holding up the phone. Okay. So it's the Saturday morning communion is with the earthly mother. The earthly mother and I are one. She gives the food of life to my whole body. So this is where we contemplate that topsoil. That's where we become one with it, right? Because we are the elements of Mother Earth. So we are, in a sense, like the topsoil. We plant, we sow these seeds, and then we cultivate and we nurture, and then we get the harvest, and then we get fed. So it's like we become one, with that, with that idea of nutrition, the topsoil. And so that's like the focus this morning. So then tonight it will be I and my Father are one. That would be the evening, and that is the cosmos. The sky. The natives are Mother Earth and Father Sky, right? The Native Americans. So anyway, in that same sense, we are one with the masculine and the feminine, right? With each other. With each other. So right now we're leaving this paradigm of this patriarchal system. The whole war thing is that's there was a lot of stuff going on with Putin, right? I mean, it's like, who was he? It's like, who is this guy? And so now we got to see it. It's very clear. We're not confused anymore. We're very clear, so everything's coming up to the light, and we're in that last phase of karmic cleanup, and so that's a really tough. We're going through, and when we're in a retrograde, Mercury retrograde, and a eclipse season, so this is a time for us to do transmuting, and that's what I've really been getting. So, in the sense that this being is part of this tree, and the bottom of this, these are the elements of the earth, and these are the elements of the cosmos, right? So if you see, here's this human being, and she is connected to and they call him the angel of life, the angel of water, the angel of air, right? The angel of fire, the angel of wisdom, the angel of joy, right? So this being is united, is one in the same. That's what this is what this is about. This is the Essenes, right? This is how Jesus was raised, with this. So we are connected to all these powers. These are called the powers. We are connected to all these powers. We have the power of water with us. We have the power of we're one and the same with the angel of water. We're one and the same with the angel of fire. Or the angel of the sun, right? We are one and the same. We have their power. We all know the power of earth. I mean, she could shake. We understand the power of the earthquake. We understand the power of the hurricane and the tornado. We understand the power of the tidal wave, of the tsunami. We understand the power of a fire, especially if you're a Californian. You understand that. Or West Coast. On the West Coast, seems like we're always on fire. But anyway, summertime. We understand the power. We have that power within us. That is, we are part of it. But we didn't know that, right? That's the great secret. And we understand the great secret. We understand the great secret. That's what we're doing. We're joining forces, and through tarot, through oracle cards, and we're we're transmuting. So we're going to go deeper into it. I want to do it before the 16th. So, Charlie, no. Oh my goodness, I memorized your name and I don't remember it now. Am I saying it right? Anyway, the 16th is the lunar eclipse, right? And we just had the solar eclipse. So we're in that eclipse phase. Plus, we're Mercury retrograde. I forget what other planet. I know there's a couple other planets in retrograde. I haven't really been paying too much attention. I do sidereal astrology. And Athen, Mastering the Zodiac, was doing this this little booklet, and every time there was a transition in one of the planets, going by the sidereal, the true sidereal is what he calls it, going by the actual. Okay, so if Virgo is the constellation that takes up the biggest space up in the sky, where the constellations are. So rather than Virgo being in a 30-day increment, Virgo is actually the amount of space it takes. If you look into the sidereal chart, you will see that Virgo takes up the most space on the wheel, right? And then you got like Scorpio and Ophiuchus, because he added the Ophiuchus, taking up the smallest amount of space, right? In fact, they're in the same house now, right? And Ophiuchus is the one who is, Ophiuchus is the immortality. Because the snake represents our mortality, right? That's the descent out of the eternal into the physical, right? So that is the symbol. The snake is that symbol of that descent. So Ophiuchus is holding the snake, and he'd made peace with the snake. So Ophiuchus is about the immortality. So Scorpio is that descent into the underworld, and it's the rise. So there's that between Scorpio and Ophiuchus, there's this beautiful, beautiful rise out of the mortality and the immortality. So we get this beautiful combination of mortal in the physical and yet immortal. And even though we can sit there and say, well, my soul must be immortal because it just keeps on going, but if we don't really know that, you know, and through these powers and through these integrations and through these transmutations of these energies that are not even necessary. They're not necessary. They were just conjured up. They were just conjured up because some souls, some beings got together and decided that they were going to take control. And they got power hungry, and they did a whole lot of and you know, threw us off. And you know, that's why there were so many, you know, all that history of people just, oh, you don't agree with us, huh? Okay, well, there goes your head. Oh, you want to be special. You want to be connected to Mother Earth. You want to use the herbs and the to heal. You know, you want to do your own thing, right? You want, okay. How about we just, yeah, there you are, on fire. You know, so it was like anything that just like, yeah, they just had to have it their way. It's like, we're going to have it our way. And we're just like, nah, we're not doing that. We're tired of you having your way. So we're going to be transmuting, and we're going to experience joy, and we're going to experience our sexuality, and we're going to, you know, in orgasmic, Kundalini rising experiences. We're going to know our power. We're going to help each other rise. You know, we're going to communicate with the universe. We're going to use numbers. We're going to use symbols. We're going to use cards. We're going to do all kinds of things. You know, we're going to use crystals. We're going to, oh, where's my crystals at? Mother. We're going to bring Mother. We're going to hold Mother. We're going to put Mother in our bras. And this is Mother to me. This is Mother. It's like, oh, Mama, here you are, Mama. Mama's in a little piece. So I can put it in my pocket. Put it in my bra. Hold it. Put it on my forehead. Put it in my third eye. Or put it in my heart. You know. Right? We're going to do that. We're going to go back to that. You know. So we're in this transmutation period. And we're also in this father healing. Right? And we're using our intuition. So we got father healing, right? Neptune looks a little off. You just look mean. You just look on me. Well, if you're, yeah, you know, he lost his innocence, of course. So we're working with men as women to remember your innocence, help you remember. And my thing was, after I watched this video, it was so interesting because I have a son, and he was so focused. He was so focused. There was just, everything was just about one thing for him, because he was really trying to get something together, and so he's so focused. And I remember, it's like, can you balance it out, kiddo? It's like, oh my God, you know. But that was, and I didn't realize what I was doing, because until I watched this last night, or the other day, and Sabrina, and she was talking about how focused the man is. You know, the males are, can be, we're women, we're more aware of things that are going on. Where men are just like, they can just like tune everything out, right? Where women are just like, you know, and then we're like, hey, you know, join in. But we're not, that's their gift, that's part of their gift. And of course they have, you know, there's a balance to it. But we don't honor it. And I wasn't honoring that about my son. I wasn't honoring that about friends. And, you know, I was like, wow, I didn't, you know, and then she talks about with their focus, that ability to focus. She goes, what's it going to feel like when now that focus is on you, on your feminine, on your beauty, on your radiance? Are you going to be able to allow him to see you that deeply? And I was just like, it really, it's just, you know, we say we want to be met, you know, so can we allow a man to meet us? You know, because their power, you know, it's like T.D. Jakes, I remember one day listening to him, and he was saying, you know, women, you're wrong. Men do have emotions. They have very powerful emotions, right? So we have to, but how are they going to have their emotions if everything is forbidden? Okay, you can't, no, no, don't do that, you know, because they're being told no, 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 no. So I've been working with this energies for a while, and I'm getting closer and closer, understanding, you know, more and more. And, you know, I joke about having a boy brain, because when you have an ADHD brain, you don't really have the executive functioning like most people. You just don't have it. So organizing and just like time management, those are just like, I mean, it's just, it's to the point where you want to just sit and cry. It's just because society, the paradigm is based on this executive functioning. So we're always the wrong ones. We're always, you know, it's always like, you know, can't you get it to, but the system isn't set up for us. It's not set up for us. It actually goes against us. So we have to, so we're constantly trying to work to be part of that system. So I call people with executive functioning the privileged, because the system is set up for the way your brain works. So if you're, you know, in capitalism and the hierarchies is always about privilege and underprivilege. You can't have a privilege if you don't have an underprivilege. You gotta have an underprivilege. You cannot have a high without a low. You can't have, so to get to equal, we have to decide, each person has to make that choice about equality, right? Do you need a low? If you find yourself moving up, do you need a low? You know, and that's why when a homeless man flirts with me, or if a homeless man, you know, I want to treat him in the same way that I would treat somebody who's like a CEO, right? So CEO and the janitor, right? It's up to us to do that, because if we don't like the hierarchy, then we have to find the equality, right? And that's like, that's an adventure. That's an adventure. And that's just like this. In the same way, now I went all the way back around to my point. So in this same way that we are part of the whole system of power, which is the elements, which is the wisdom, which is the yeah. Tuesday evening is the angel of power. Wednesday evening is the angel of life. Those are invisible. Power and life, those are invisible, but we know it, right? But when it comes to the solar rays, you know, we feel the solar rays. You know, it's like you can see it. You can, angel of air, that's another invisible, but we're breathing it. But angel of water, you know, angel of earth. So it's more visible compared to like creative work, right? Which is an evening, peace, eternal life, and then I think wisdom, right? So we're part of that. We're part of all of that. And just the same, we are part of each other in that same sense, right? Yeah. So what we're doing is, as in this new paradigm, we are filling the gaps. And what we're doing is we're filling the gaps with light and frequency. You know, that's what our that's what our job is as star seeds, and you know, the chosen ones, right? Is what we're calling, what we're being called, what we're being called. But I'm getting, the dragons wanted to come out. The dragons wanted to come out. They were just like, can we come out to play? I'm like, oh yes, I'm a dragon in this isn't. I'm a dragon in what's that called? Chinese astrology. I love Chinese astrology. It is so amazing because you have one animal. And I tell you, I love, rather than, you know, the whole chart. What? I just had my lighter. Rather than the whole chart, you know. So, I just, yeah, I love to, and every, of course, every, so my parents were rat, let's put it this way. Both my parents were born in the same year. They're born year of the rat. And I'm a dragon. And I remember talking to my cousin who's also a dragon. And I was kind of joking with her. She's like, I'm a dragon too. You know, yeah, you're a dragon. You know, and then, then I said something like, what do you think it feels like to tell your parents that they're rats? You know, what do you think it feels like to be a dragon? You know, and your parents being rats. But I'm telling you, rats are so, I love rats. And they're in my Trinity. There's 12. There's 12, 12, how would you say, astrology signs, Chinese astrology signs, and so they just cycle into 12. And so this year we're in year of the tiger. Last year was the year of the ox. So last year was the ox, when we were just towing the line. And this year it's about tiger. Tiger is a very, very spiritual, you know, symbol. But anyway, so I love, so what I'm saying, the reason I'm saying is, if you want to hang out for fun, if you want it, because we're going to start doing some more playful things and stuff. I'm just trying to get all this together, because we're mavericks, right? In fact, I'm talking to Jesus, and I'm saying, you know, I think I'm gonna do my own thing with the Way of Mastery, because the language really triggers a lot of our religious trauma, and a lot of people don't want it. And I can't say that I blame you. I like it. I think it's romantic. I love, and I just always had a closeness. Like, this one wants to come out. This one's been coming out a lot. I think that's the seventh dimension. That's what I was, the dimensions. So that one too. Well, yep, the Alpha Dragon. I'm gonna pull that one. That came out the other day. That one even came out. Fire Dragon. What I did is okay, so let me finish what I'm saying. I forgot what I was saying. That's an ADHD. That's an ADHD thing. It's not, doesn't mean I'm a ditz. It's my mind just, And I'm saying this because when we get it so together, you take an executive functioning person who I think you're gods. If you're a god. I ain't putting you down. I can see why you're privileged. Because you're a god. It's like, you do time that. You got all that done today? You got all that done today. You timed it all. You planned it and you organized. You didn't lose your keys. You didn't spend 20 minutes looking for your keys. It's like, I really put so much effort into putting things back. My sunglasses were in a bag the other day. I couldn't find my sunglasses, and I had a bag of some tomato sauce and some beans and some other beans. And it was a paper bag, and then I tossed my. Ooh, the same card came out. The same card came out. Same card came out. This isn't new though. So anyway, I said, you know what? I'm just going to go without my sunglasses. So I go without my sunglasses. I come back home and I look and I was like, oh, I got to put that away. And I look in, which is, the dried beans and and I'm only going to cook a little bit of beans and eat them, anyway, I don't need to be eating inertia. So anyway, I look down. There you are. It's like, I never would have. I would have been. So it's important for me to put things back. So I spent a good 5 minutes looking for those glasses. So I think executive functioning people are so kick-ass. I just think you're amazing. You're freaking gods. You get on my nerves because you want us to do it. You want us to do what you do, and that's like, we get it. In fact, we're trying. Sounds like a good idea to me to know where my glasses are. Sounds like a kick-ass idea to me to be able to get a bunch of things done because I've timed it. I have the ability to time things. Timing and memory. I'm not constantly forgetting things. Because I got so much action going on that just to remember where an appointment or to get that done, I've got cosmic shit happening. It's like I'm getting visions of sugar plums, And it's like, that task of organizing, that gives you dopamine. If you sit and you organize and you do your routine, you get dopamine. My brain doesn't. My brain doesn't get dopamine. I gotta go do something like novel, right? I gotta stand on my head and tell a dirty joke or something, right? Just to get something novel. I gotta do something so different, because that consistency is just not gonna give me dopamine, right? So I think you're God. Because you don't have to do that, but you get things done because I want to get things done, right? So we're idea factories. We are we are conduit to the universal informational system. Like, okay, this is what you guys got to do, right? Okay, this is what's happening. Okay, like Tesla. If anybody knows about Nikola Tesla, you understand what an ADHD brain is. When an ADD person is just staring out the window and they're having a spiritual experience, they are connected. They're connected to the cosmos, to the earth, to imagination, right? But then yet they're so wrong. But we require them. So you take an executive functioning person and an ADD or an ADHD person who are idea factories. I mean, we got this hookup, right, to the stream of all the stuff that we can do and that we are to do in order to have a new paradigm, to have a whole new way of life, right? So you take a person who with executive functioning and I see this beautiful, gorgeous. I remember, you're royalty to me. You're royal. You finish school. You could do school. You're God. You take someone like that, like what I love oxes. Oh my God, buffalo and oxes. I just love them. They're just so steadfast. You know, I'm like a gazelle. I like a gazelle and a hawk and I'm trying to think of something else. And a dolphin, all, you know, all mixed up. There's that all, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to get all the three of our animal creatures, right? So that's the winged, the legged, the four-legged, and the fin, right? So yeah, yeah. So I'm just like, oh, you get this beautiful ox or buffalo, and they're just like coming in with power. You know, bulls. I love that. Ooh, that's an exciting, gorgeous, beautiful energy to me. So you take that, and then you take this idea factory that's getting all kinds of information, and not only an idea. It's like when we're connected, when we are connected to that idea source, right? It's source, right? We're constant. We'll get the idea, and then we get the process. It's not, you can get the idea. But it's gonna take, it's on a need to know basis, right? So okay, here's the idea now, start that, and then then here comes more resources. So we're constantly getting that. So you take somebody who is an ox, and then you take another person who is that bird is that symbology of all that information coming through, right? Being in the sky, soaring through. You're supposed to like a hawk. Because hawk is, ADHD people get hyper focused. We have it, yeah. So that's what that hawk. So when we're not hyper focused, it's like we're not focused or we're hyper focused. There's just two kind of focus with us. Non or hyper focus, right? And you got Scorpio, and you got some Taurus in you, and some Aquarius in you. You get fixed. That's an interesting experience. But then you got that dolphin. You got that that dolphin, which is different from a different planet, right? And then you got your four-legged, right? Like a fox, right? A fox is popping up. Or a coyote, right? Because we're foxes and we're coyotes because everything is funny and ironic and, right? So we're tricksters, but in the both dynamics, negative and positive. But yeah, it takes a trickster because the trickster is going to do that new thing, right? The trickster is going to bring in, it's going to have that magic. We'll call it magic. Magic to me means you just don't know where it comes from, but it's just so beautiful. I don't mean like spell magic. I mean like magical, like wondrous, like childlike, like Tinkerbell, like innocence. Magic is like innocence and wonder, and that's what I'm talking about. It's like it's radiant. That's what I'm talking about. Not like. Well, there's a beautiful part to magic. I've just been experiencing kind of the neg. So, yeah. But, which is, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to look into that, let that come in. But it's that whole idea, it's magical. It's innate, right? So you bring those together, shit gets done in a whole new way. So I wasn't really into capitalism because capitalism, you got to have a high and a low. Okay. So I wrote a poem on that. Anyway, so I didn't really want to do capitalism. So I was introduced to social entrepreneurship. And when I say introduced, I was kind of in that connection, right? So I remember, I don't know where this is at. where I got this from, but I'm being told to stop. My whole point here is that when the whole point is joining. What's that called? Polarity. That is what the 6th or the 7th law, the universal law, polarity, or maybe it's the 5th, probably the 5th, knowing the number 5, but polarity. So hot will burn you and cold will burn you. They're two different sensations, but yet they're so the same, right? So what we're doing is we're integrating these polarities, man, woman, integrating that polarity. So the same thing with our brains, the way our brain works, is what I'm saying. So they're telling me not to go any further with that. So I'm gonna listen. I get so excited, but I just think it's so beautiful. I think it's so beautiful, and it's not to say that a person who has executive functioning cannot, tap. They have to tap into. It's just I don't know, at a greater rate or just a wider scope. And to complete the idea of Anna Green Gables, and why I even brought her up, because I used the word scope, and she would always say, you don't have a very good scope of the imagination. She always talked, or you gotta have a strong scope of the imagination, but she always used the word scope and imagination together. So let's get into this integration. Now, I did this before, but we got the same cards. You guys, look. If you've watched me before, look. Remember this card? And then remember the eclipse? Remember we were talking about the eclipse? And then the protection, that came out like last. It's like you're protected. And then Kuan Yin. And this is about karmic balance. This isn't the one that I thought it was. Okay. The other one had hearts. These are flower petals. But she still came out. The heart one didn't come out. Okay. And then we got, okay. So, the dark blue galactic dragon. And I'm just about positive it's a 7th dimension. Okay, so the rose pink was the one that came in last time. Pure white, that kept on showing up. So the 7th dimension dragons are coming really strong. Again. There it is. Oh, no. I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. The Alpha Dragon is the 9th dimension, and the dark blue galactic. That's as far as it goes, as far as dimension. Okay, so we're being asked to transmute. So I'm just going to go by my own, and then I'm going to see what this says, but I'm going to play this by. Oh, wow, the feather. Look at that feather, that golden feather. Feathers have me thinking about ancestors. Interesting. See how his third eye, or our third eye would be, is just so focused on that feather, and it's in his hand. It's in his hand. It's like it's like our hands, our hand chakras are connected to our heart, right? And then the word destroy. We are in a process of destruction. We're destroying, the old is being destroyed. And then Kuan Yin comes in to talk about the karmic balance. That really nice pink, right? Look at that feather. Our ancestral gifts are in our hands. Whatever we touch, right? And it's golden. It's like that golden. What we touch turns to gold. But this one came out first. But that just caught my eye, so I went to that. And you know what catches my eye now? Look. Taking in that, look at all that purple. Taking in that cosmic energy. And look at the chest. What does it mean to you when the chest is out like that? It's just like there's just like a... It's a movement forward, right? It's just like a movement, and the way he's doing it, he's going up. His movement is going like ascension, right? It's like this is the heart is the center of everything. Yeah, you see, and it's lit up. The heart, it's our heart. We move with our heart. You notice that the heart, his chest goes before everything. That's like his leader. What leads him, what guides him. And I'm just keep on hearing transmuting, transmuting, transmuting. And we are protected. Meditate, reflect, undergo a metamorphosis. Cocoon so that your divine potential grows. You see? We're protected. But I'm really feeling like and they're all black. Well, this one's dark blue. They're bluish blue. This one's black and gray. And these two are blue, purple, black. This one's on Earth. They're like, this is like anchoring. Let me see if I can do it. This is like anchoring. So we're getting this cosmic stuff and we're bringing it here. This golden, to bring it here, right? And then we got this beautiful pink that is cosmic, that is balance. See the flower petals? And look. This one's calling at me. He's just calling. Burns up lower energies around you. You are safe and protected, determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. This is it. This is what I'm really, and this card keeps on talking to me, right? And look at dream big. Look, dream big. This is that dream. This is what I was saying about those with the ADD and the ADHD. The only difference between, I think the only difference really between ADHD and ADD is the hyper. But as far as being able to connect and, you know, get information, you know, just, yeah. And so you notice that these ADD kids, they'll say some of the most amazing, comical, wise, you know, brilliant things, you know. It's because they're getting it, like, they're filling their bag, right? Cosmic. These are... So this is when we're in this intuition card is coming in. This is, we're connecting with this, right? And then this right here is coming in with this. So what we're doing is we're clearing. We're clearing. This is simplify. We're simplifying. It's like, it's easy. Love, it's like you play fair. It's really easy. You treat somebody the way you want to be treated. It's really easy. Then we don't have to do codependency anymore. It's like if you're not beautiful to me, it's really that easy. I mean, being fair is beautiful, you know. Being equal is beautiful. Look at that. Simplifying. Balancing out. Right? Our intuition. Our intuition. Oh no, this one goes here. Our intuition. That's where our intuition is cosmic. We are connecting our intuition to the cosmos. These are ninth dimensions. Ninth dimensional beings. Dragons, and they're beings, but they're dragons. We all have a dragon. They're ninth dimensional. And look at, again, this is the symbol of eclipse. This last eclipse, intuition's on fleek. Now, if you do not have good intentions, you're not going to get in. Look at them. You're not going to get in. You won't. You'll have, you'll have to rely on magic, But if you do not have good intentions, you are not getting in. You will not get into this. And then they're just like, they're not playing. They're just, everybody's been saying that. I've been hearing that with they're just not playing. I'm just like, never mind, I'm going to that. But look, there's a protection. What's going on Earth is being protected. There is a balancing, but it's pink though. It's a sweetness. It's up to every individual to choose the pink or to stay within the old. Stay within this guy. Stay here. Look at how grumpy he is. It is grumpy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I never saw that before. I have a... Oh, here it is. Wow, I'm blown away. Makes me a little dizzy. See that right there? There's a snow globe like, and there's a mermaid in there. She's in a bubble. She's in a glass. So until we purify, and purification comes with honoring. And it's so important that we allow men to the same thing that we want for ourselves, and that is to express what has been forbidden, right? And as I'm listening to Sabrina, man, she makes it just so, she just passionate, and she just she just makes you want it, right? But ultimately, the only way we're gonna do it is we have to face our own. Hi there. I am a Sag. Oh, hi there. How you guys been there? Did you just pop up? Because I got my phone down here. I had some trouble with my computer. So, so yeah. Oh, so what I was saying was, in order to really allow, or it's the vulnerability. Oh, okay, good. Okay, it's good to see you. I was talking about, I want to do some, I want to do some Zooms and go deeper into the masculine. I'm following a woman named Sabrina. It's called Rewilding. I'm gonna get that on my playlist. And she was talking about really going into the forbidden of the masculine, because we've all been forbidden. So to really get in there and do this cleanup with the toxic, right? So and it's about men being more free to be who they naturally are. She said something that was really interesting. She said that there's a book that was written about how we try to feminize men. In other words, we're trying to get men to behave more like we want them to be, or more like women, and it really just confuses. I mean, it's not fair. It's just not fair. And I think about it, you know. So it's gonna take us to really look into that, because if anybody is suppressing anything, right, we understand they're not going to be free. They're not going to be happy, right? So I wanted to. There's another woman, Shaylee, that's her name. We wanted to do a Zoom and discuss this stuff. Really look deeper into it. And I wanted to do it before the new not the new moon, but the full moon would be a lunar eclipse, right? So I start to stutter. I get so excited when people show up. I was talking to myself. I can talk better. But anyway, I'm excited to see you guys. So this idea of to transmute, and that's what the idea is, to transmute all this and work together, because that we're so powerful in numbers, right? And we're doing it. We're already doing it. But I'm being guided to do a greater focus on transmutation. And I mean, I've had these cards for a while, not too long, but I saw that mermaid in that snow globe-like thing, and a bubble, and a glass. And she doesn't look happy, and neither does he look happy. So that's what I want to focus on. And then these two cards here, I just really want to emphasize that our dreams, when we're dreaming big, we're just dreaming from a cosmic level, right? And then, where's this guy? And then planting our seeds here on Earth. So there's just this beautiful balance, and how protected right now everything that we're doing for this new Earth, this new way of this new paradigm is being protected. But I love how these cards, they fit, that where there's this cosmic, and then there's this, you know, this mermaid, which is this ocean. So there's like this, there's a cosmic ocean, and then there's the earthly ocean. You know, and I'm getting the words, the vast potentials. So I mean, we have no idea what we're going towards. You know, I mean like the exciting stuff, because we're so accustomed to the doom, right? You know, I'm just thinking, I was born in the 60s, so I remember, like, I didn't get, like, my parents and the other generation before me, where they were, like, going underneath their desk at school because of for in case they got attacked by atomic, you know, by the Russians, and would have an atomic nuclear war and stuff like that. But there was still that those ideas were there when I was a kid, and now we're going into something completely different, because all this war stuff is being transmuted. You know, we're starting to see, we're seeing these politicians, we're seeing that they're not in our favor. It's becoming clearer and clearer. It's harder. I mean, there's so many of us that already knew that, but for the ones that didn't understand it, they're starting to see that. So we're simplifying. We're getting back to a simpler nature by transmuting this. But I really want to focus on this. It's like the vast possibilities that we will be experiencing together. as we're creating. So as we're transmuting, we're also creating, and that's where that like that balance is coming in. So talking about that karmic balance, so we can just create this paradise, you know. So I really, yeah, and just, you know, living by our intuition. Earlier, oops, what is going on? It's saying that I don't have storage space, but it's live. It doesn't make sense. But I was showing that this guy right here, and his chest, it's like it's ascension, right? He's moving up. But the attention to his chest, I started putting my focus on his chest, and I was like, what's that about? Well, our heart, right? So we're moving up, and our heart is almost like the rocket ship, right? It's this part, you know, that's what's going to take us into these other dimensions. And these are ninth dimensional dragons, and this one, this fire dragon is a fourth dimension. So all the elements are fourth dimension, so they're here with us. And one of the things, I wanted to find a page to read because I forgot about this, and I try to do it when I remember, but I walk a lot, and one of the things that we can do is we can invite these dragons to join us, and they will purify the ley lines. So wherever you're living, they will go into the ground and around your area. I think it's 100 kilometers, and purify that energy around you. So if you take when we take a walk and we just have them join us, they will do the work. If we just invite them, but there's they mention it here. I'm not sure which one. Yeah, okay. So this is the earth dragon. It clears your path and land around. Yeah, this is the perfect one. Clears your path and the land around you. Stay grounded. Be ready to serve. Stuck energy is clearing. You can move forward in life. So fourth dimensional earth dragons are brown, the color of the soil. They love the planet and the land itself. It was these sturdy dragons who helped to build the original dragon lines that we now call ley lines. Part of their service work is to travel along them to clear them when asked to do so. When we send an instruction to the earth dragons to work with the ley lines, they can power away under the surface to clear any blockages. This impacts hugely on people and situations in the vicinity. They can also help to ground us and our mission in this life. It is time to clear, and this is the guidance, it is time to clear unwanted energies that are preventing your life from moving forward. Some of these may be in the earth under your home or office or where you travel. Call on the earth dragons and ask them to remove all that is not in accordance with divine light. Then sense the frequency rising. I got that. That's a really important part of it. That's where we join in, is we sense the frequency rising within the land and on our path. This card also suggests that you may be called on to do planetary service work, as the earth dragons will take the opportunity to cleanse any ley lines you focus on. Take a moment to direct them to clear the planetary grid and visualize the grid glowing and shimmering. When you walk, think of the earth dragons and connect with them through the earth. Ask them to ground you and your vision, for this card signifies that they are now boosting your spiritual journey and they are ready to fly. And you are ready to fly. Notice the progress you make. So I think I'm gonna play with this one for a while, you know, to bring that back in. But they want me to read this one, the Blue Galactic. This is the one with the chest. The Blue Galactic Dragon helps you listen to the voice of the universe, ignite the codes of your master blueprint, access cosmic wisdom, and enter higher service. About. These dragons shimmer with gold sparkles of cosmic wisdom, for they harness the light of the stars, planets, and constellations. When we are ready, they touch us with the light, enabling us to embody the illumined energy and wisdom they contain. Oh, wow. So we got to be ready. That's our part. Okay. I'm glad you're here. While many of us are now able to attune to the ninth dimension, it is still an awesome light. Yeah, okay. Filled with joy, love, and wisdom beyond our current comprehension. Dark blue galactic dragons can send bursts of cosmic searchlights through us to ignite the hidden codes of our master blueprint, the seven-dimensional lights of our soul, so that we can listen to the voice of the universe. Remember, our soul must be in the at least seventh dimensional for us to receive permission to incarnate on Earth. Wow! So at one point we made it to the seventh dimension to be incarnated on Earth, according to this. Wow! So we're masters. We just have amnesia. Guidance. Your soul has taken you to the stars and beyond. The dark blue galactic dragons now invite you to communicate with the masters of the universe, the Intergalactic Council. Well, you can contribute your energy for the smooth ascension of the planet. It is time to listen and serve. I don't know what's going on with my throat. I don't think I have any. Nope, I don't. Ask the wondrous dragon who has come to you to tune you into the Intergalactical Council, where you will be offered the honor of petitioning the council. Decide whether your petition is for welfare of animals or humanity, or to assist the ascension of the planet. Then ask the dragon to take you to the council to present your petition. Dark blue galactic dragons will also instruct you during meditation or sleep. This will enable you to serve the in a galactic capacity and will hugely expand your energy fields. So we can be taken to the council. How cool. There are some people that are part of the council. They're like the conduit that are part of the councils. They're like, how would you, I think, yeah, they are part of them, or they're the spokesperson for them. So then I want to read this alpha. Oh, harness the divine masculine power of creation. Destroy the old, visualize your dream, help to manifest a new world. That's what we were talking about, the divine masculine. Alpha. These incredible galactic dragons carry Archangel Metatron's highest light. They help to create the universe, and we live in and continue to breathe the yang energy of manifestation into our world, because they have the power of physical manifestation. They work with our thoughts when we or the collective mind of humanity are ready to bring something into creation. These are enormous and powerful dragons. They only work for the highest good. As they can build, they can also destroy. They are entering our world now at the end of the old era and the start of a new, to facilitate the destruction of that which no longer serves our planet and the construction of a new world at a much higher frequency. And this is where I'm seeing this. The protecting of it too. Guidance. Alpha dragons are bringing you a very special message. You are being called to demonstrate creative forces in your current project or experience. So ask these magnificent beings to assist you, and know their masculine energy will empower and strengthen you as you visualize what you want to build. You can also ask these dragons to support you in constructing a new fifth dimensional world. As you hold the vision of the new golden age, they can take your pictures and breathe life into them. This is a card of raw power and creation to ensure your intentions are pure. Wow. So that's where that was coming. Yeah, that came in. Okay, so I'm going to I'm really feeling the I can't think of the name. The unicorns. Where are my unicorns? Oh, here they are. No? No. Where are my unicorns? Here's the unicorn book. Where's the unicorn cards? Oh, there they are. There they are. Okay, so 2 unicorn cards came out earlier. I was doing a real quick reading for somebody, and innocence and leadership came out. So they kind of added to the early part of this. Did I do this? So right now I'm just doing a lot of cleansing. I'm using a lot more of sage. So right now we're in a real, because as things break down, right? Because after the last eclipse, as things break down, there has to be a cleanup, right? It leaves a lot of dust and residue. Okay. So what do strength? This challenge will make you stronger. You will get through to the other side. Look for the gifts in this situation. That looks very focused. That's what that masculine energy that I was talking about earlier. The male energy is a very focused energy, where the feminine energy, she was saying, is just aware of, all kind of like, there's a particular word she used, but just aware of so many things, right? And that's what, like, women, we're just so aware of, what's going on around us, where men are more focused. So we can use both those energies. I went to the park the other day, and I was sitting on a little hill, and I was watching this hawk. Ooh, I like that. Passion. Wow. Do what excites you. Get fired up about your life. Increase your energy levels. Look at that. It's just pure fire. And then we had the fire dragon. Did I put you away? No, I didn't. Look at that. Transmutation. The most purified of anything on earth is ashes. It's like, I remember hearing that. It's like, well, okay. Here goes the strength. And then we got past lives coming in. Release your past life karma. You are an old soul with deep wisdom. Healing your past lives will raise your vibration. And so these go together. It's a very feminine, that balancing is a very feminine look. Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness, this passion's... There goes that string card. This one caught my attention, and this is balance. Take time to relax, indulge a little more or less, set boundaries with your work. Balance, and then celebration. A positive outcome is assured. Celebrate your success. Enjoy your achievements. And then right here I'm seeing create a new reality. Let's look into that. That just really popped out. Rebirth. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Rebirth. Look at all these reds. Got your passion. This is our core. This is our root chakra. So I'm going to take that. Oh no, that one didn't come out. I mean, that was just that card. But that purple is so pretty. A positive outcome is assured. Celebrate your success. It looks very, very joyous. Okay. So tomorrow's Mother's Day. I didn't even realize that, friend. They canceled our Sunday. And I'm like, okay. And then somebody said it's Mother. Oh, well, that makes sense. A friend of mine is going to... My kids are taking me out for lunch. I'm like, how cool. It's like, oh my goodness. It's Mother's Day. I thought that was interesting. It just kind of popped up on me. But then it's only the... Oh yeah, it's only the 8th. It kind of confused me. I have an appointment there. I was like, I just had an appointment with them. Okay. Flow. Isn't that gorgeous? It's like, well, let's read this first. Find an easier path forward. Surrender the outcome. Release your expectation. I found myself really intense, and I just stopped, and I was just like, I want to flow with this, because people say you got to push through it. I was like, I don't want to push through it. I want to just flow with it. So I'm just kind of imagining but I think it's gonna require some transmutation, right? So I'm really been working on that, and that's like kind of the subject to get us prepared for this new, no, not for the new moon, but for the full moon eclipse. So here's the flow. And I'm going to pull up the water dragon, even though the water dragon didn't come out. Sometimes I'll grab all the basic earth dragons, like the green dragon, the elements, like earth and air, and like the air dragon, and I just asked, what element am I to work with, and I was getting water a lot, like day and day, but it was about that flowing. There's the water dragon. Helps you flow easily around obstacles. Christ, light, and love are flowing. Develop your psychic abilities. And go with the flow. And look, they both have the similar colors. Very, very close in colors. So here are these mythical creatures that are here to guide us, to help us. What's that orange? Oh, they're fish. Oh, they're fish. Okay, I see. Is that a blowfish, I wonder? I'm thinking of Finding Nemo. That is. Oh, there's another horse behind. There's something coming from behind. I really feel like that's where we let go of the expectations. Because I just, letting go of expectations. I think when we, for me, it's like what I'm getting is like when there's an expectation, I think what happens, there's a constriction, right? So the energy can't really flow. So I've been really working on, when I catch myself feeling any kind of disappointment or anything, it's like, okay, let me let go of this expectation, because never has it ever gone the way I thought it was going to go. I remember being a kid thinking, I remember like my first interview, it was going to go a certain way. It didn't go anything like it. You know, everything, it never goes the way we think it's going to go, right? There's always more to it, or it's usually, or often, it's basically the same idea. It works out better. You know, there are the times, the crappy times, but sometimes like, wow, that was easier than I thought. I should have did that a long time ago. Beloved came up. Yep, beloved. Beloved is prepare for your life partner. Romance is returning to your relationship. Believe you are lovable. So there's that transformation. Those butterflies. Okay. Sanctuary. Abundance. And awareness. Action and awareness. Okay. Sometimes I just like shuffling them. Okay. Compassion. Compassion and healer. So we're compassion and healer. I'm really feeling, and then dance, of course. Dance and then receive, right? And again, here comes the strength. And then, yeah, and support. Yeah. We're really going through a major change right now. That receive. Okay. So the one that came out was be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. Let the light in yourself and others. See the light in yourself and others. Healer. You have powerful healing gifts. Have faith in your abilities. Stay true to your path as a healer. Yeah. So I'm really feeling, because, okay, so we're in Mercury retrograde. So for me, when Mercury retrograde, did we get to Mercury retrograde or do we start it, I think, Tuesday, but we're in that influence. So, and then we have the eclipse season. So that's really interesting, because for me, when we have the Mercury retrograde, which happens once every season, so 4 times a year. So whatever happened the season before, so we're in spring, so whatever happened all in winter, and we didn't clear away, comes back, so we can clear away. So now, so here we are in this return of the past coming in to do the clearing, and then the eclipse comes in to help us clear that away. So so that eclipse is really what's really coming through, because the dragons were showing us the eclipse. Where are you? It's really showing us that, and this is the one about destroy. Yeah. So the old, we're letting go of that old, and that's what that eclipse is about. It's to eclipse it out of our life. And that's why that strength card keeps on coming in. And then this time it came with support. So get that support. But that strength is coming in really strong. And again, the support, we're really working with orange, which is our orange represents our sacral, right? And we were talking about, we started off talking about ask for help, get more rest, nurture yourself. We were talking about the masculine and healing the masculine within ourselves and each other, seeing the innocence in each other. Yeah. So this orange, all this orange, is about cleansing our past sexual experience. What sex was, what we experienced with sex, our ideas of sex, our restrictions in sex, our confusion. I mean, there's an element of control, you know, and we understand that there's the propensity for both genders to be controlling. I mean, we know many situations where, you know, the man is being controlled, but we're leaving this I don't know if I want to say but. We are leaving the patriarchal, and there's that orange back there. So to really start anew, we really got to go in and that's what I want to work on. We're going to be working on that. That's what the focus is going to be. It's the genders. What happened? What's going on with the genders? How to heal. And that I have no idea what's going to come up. I've been doing my own work, but it's going to be interesting to see what comes up. And I'm going to be using rewilding for women. Rewilding. I don't know if it's for women. I think it is for women. I was part of their Facebook group for a while, and then I haven't been. I don't know, but anyway, I remember it was for women. It was all women's group. So I'll be using with the mythologies. I watched a video with Hecate. I want to go and look into Lilith. She does it with Lilith, and use the mythologies to get into those parts to heal. And look, there's just this. I'm just seeing. It's like we do the work. We do the work. We understand that it's going to be work. Dancing is part of it, right? So it's not the same kind of work that we're accustomed to, right? It's not the kind of work that we're used to. It is going to be be work, and I want to change the word. It's a challenge. This challenge will make you stronger. You will get through the other side. To the other side, look for the gift in the situation. Well, rather than work, what if we say adventure? You know, when we were kids, and we would do a project, right? We would play, like when we would build a fort, right? Remember when we would build a fort, and sometimes we would do it with others, you know, brothers, sisters, or neighbors, kids, or cousins and stuff. It was a lot of work. We had to. I remember like looking through everything, going through the shed or the garage, and going through the house, looking for things so we can the material to build our fort, right? So then we had to. That was like physical work, but it was like we were like exploring. We got to use our creativity, right? So we're using our imagination. I remember like maybe we would grab like a sheet or and then Mom would catch us. It's like, no, not my good sheet. So she would give us a piece of material or something else, or maybe an older sheet. But we had to use our imagination. We got to use our imagination. So it was playful. We were doing it for the reason of play, but there was a sense of work to it, right? And we had to, drag. Sometimes we would drag things. Like say we found a big board, we'd have to drag it to the spot that we wanted to build our fort, right? So there was so much work to it, but yet it was so fun. Like, so I'm back to Anne of Green Gables. It's like she had her own little fort. She built her own little like shack, you know. So she obviously drug all the stuff into her little area, but it was like her sanctuary. Sanctuary came up, and that really sanctuary came up when Beloved came up. They were right next to each other. Where are you? I really want to get those ones together, because what I learned that a relationship requires, a romantic relationship, a partnership, I think all relationships require a sanctuary, right? A place where two people can be safe, you know, where there's a place for vulnerability, right? So, and if we just let everybody in, you know, like, we know what kind of stuff happens, you know, like all this envy or, you know, jealousy or, you know, just will come in. We got to have a sanctuary. And I think that's part of what we're transmuting, where we just everybody was pretty much trampling into our space, our energetic space, right? With, you know, and what it created, I'm hearing diversion. So in order to, I forgot about that, in order to really have a place that support, where to have that, we need to create. What is a sanctuary between two people in a relationship? You know, I mean, how much was that part of our culture? So the orange is really, and then we have this sanctuary, this Beloved card. Look at these colors even. There's this blue, which is protection. And sanctuary is take time out from the world, spend more time alone, meditate, and go on a retreat. And I'm finding, for me, it's within a relationship, right? Because I don't know, this one I got really uncomfortable just thinking about the sanctuary for her is a glass bubble, right? To have a sanctuary and be free within it. So that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to really focus on purifying. It's like, you know, because we're moving into a whole new paradigm. We're moving, and what does vulnerability mean? I want to go deeper into that. And what exactly? What is vulnerability? You know, and so there's this experience that I had because I was very trusting, very, very trusting. It didn't make sense that why would somebody lie, and why would somebody try to, you know, it didn't make sense. Well, I don't even understand it today, but I know that it happens. So as far as trusting is a process. And anything that has to do with process has to do with time, right? So in vulnerability, vulnerability is part of time and part of a process, right? So since vulnerability is a process, it's also part of time. So what I start realizing, that just trusting somebody like right off the bat didn't make sense, because I didn't allow the person to show their character, right? I wasn't allowing anything to develop. So in these relationships, to get to passion, to really get to passion, to really get to this sense of support, you know, I think first things first. It's like, look into what is sanctuary. Because the sanctuary is a place where we can be vulnerable. So we can have that support. So we can have that passion. So we're going to look into that. Really look into that. Because we're destroying the old. That's what we're doing. We're destroying. And a lot of the old was that we would trust, because if we didn't trust, then that meant we were judging someone, and we can't judge them, or we didn't want to hurt their feelings, or there was some other codependent or, you know, woundedness in our trust. So it makes sense that vulnerability is so we're weary about it. So we'll, as we move into, and then we're, as men and as women, we're exploring whole new territories, right? And when the male is exploring, it's going to trigger a woman, and when the woman is exploring, it's going to trigger the man, right? So that communication and that vulnerability is a must to get to the level of passion, right? But how do we do it, you know? To get to that beautiful passion, I mean, just to be that fire. It's going to require some building. We're builders. We're building. We're building a new paradigm, and that makes me think of these cards. So let's look at these career cards, right? Since they're building. We're talking about building. So I'm getting it focused. So which is the way of the heart. So I'm not going to be doing the way of the heart the way I was. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, tell you the truth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to experiment. I'm going to play. I'm going to discover. And I was given that. I was given the okay today. Because to find my own language, you know, and I totally get it. I totally get it. You know, it's the language in these books are offsetting, and the only reason why they're used is because people were familiar with it. I mean, I've been saying a rose by any other name is still a rose. The truth by any other, however we say it, is still the truth. It's not going to change. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Alrighty, talk to us about this new paradigm. Help us with our big dream. It's like we're ready to dream. We're ready to have that dream. Right now we're simplifying our lives, right? We're getting our intuition together. We're clearing up an old paradigm. So right now we're talking about the dream. So what are we doing here with this dream? Take us to another dimension. I'm curious, it flipped over. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, my goodness. Okay, so the first card that came out was freedom. You're free to do what you choose. You're free to do what you choose, okay? So that is a whole different idea, right? Because in this one, he's moody, and she's in a she's in that bubble, or not bubble, but the glass bubble, right? So there's not much choice in that one. And they're saying, choose. You get to choose. We're leaving this, where we're told what to do, where we're being indoctrinated and controlled, but there was another word, conditioned and indoctrinated to what do you want? What is your intuition? Like, I love this mermaid. Isn't she just beautiful? I mean, she's just like she's like flowing the way her hair is. Such a beautiful card. Right? So we're moving into we get to choose. she looks so free, and there's a dolphin. Because when we're playing, it's back to like building that fort. Even though we were working, it was playful. We had fun, you know. And I remember like working with my brothers and sisters or my cousins or the neighbors. It was like we learned teamwork, right? It's like we started to learn our gifts, and we started to learn other people's gifts. We're like, oh, you're creative, you're really creative, or you really have an eye for colors, or you really have the strength, and man, you could, you know, you really you were able to grab that branch and really tug on it. You know, we start to recognize each other's skills and gifts through play, right? So I'm really getting this really strong because of the dolphin is a symbolism of play. I can't wait to go swim with the dolphins. And look at YouTube is where so many people are speaking that YouTube gives us this platform, right? Because we're so accustomed to, how do you say it, executives deciding what we're to watch, right? So YouTube gives us the choice what we want to watch. They're just like, you know, as long as you follow certain guidelines, you can join in, and then we get the choice. So we're speaking. We're using our voice. We're speaking to each other. We're guiding. That's what I'm really feeling with that one. Teaching each other. And when you're in this situation, you're not really heard, right? This one's not talking because he's pissed and he's controlling, and this one is not communicating because she's caught in a glass bubble. So we're getting our voice back. That's what I'm feeling. We're getting our voice. We're using our voice. And then this is I love this one. Practice. So that takes a lot of stress out, right? If we're practicing. I mean, you know, doctors practice, lawyers practice. It's like, I'm coming to you and you're just practicing, huh? I thought that was so hilarious when I realized that you're practicing, huh? So, but we get to practice. And we practice. My eyes went to this practice using our intuition. You know, what do I want? So I really feel like what we're being told is not to take it seriously. I mean, it's not like, you know, take the idea of like, failure out, right? Expectations. And here again, we're healers. We're healing each other. You know, when we bring play back into our, there's a couple of dolphins in there. When we start playing again, like we did when we were kids, we're healing. And it's interesting that you know, the guy's got scrubs on, because there's this idea, you have a spiritual gift of healing and a desire to share it with others. When we play with each other and we dance with each other, and when we, you know, we're romantic with each other, you know, reverent, and when we're, healing, just, we can take somebody a rose, and that could be very healing. It might be exactly what they need. You know, it just, we don't know how we're healing others, you know. Just, we can say something. We might, you know, speak something or share something and heal somebody. We might just tell somebody, just relax. Don't just play with it. Just practice. Don't worry about it, you know. Don't, you know, if we don't put them under pressure. We take the pressure off. That's healing each other. When we respect that that somebody gets to choose. It's like, okay, you're free to choose. Like for me personally, I was like, I just was like, I didn't want anybody in my life that wasn't there because they really, really wanted to really be here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm just, I didn't want it. It's like, unless you really, really, really want to be here, I don't really want you here. No matter how much I care about you or love you, or I don't really want you to be here. It's like, I want you to be free, right? Because if you're not free, it's just gonna be heavy on me. And it's like, I want to be free. That's what I'm looking forward to, is this freedom to be me, you know, and to be around people who are them, who you are, who they are, you know. It's like, I want to know who you are, not what because I used to want to. I used to want people to be what I want them to be, and then no, that's boring. Light and love. You know, and I want to take the seriousness out of it, and I want to take the spirituality out of it, because the spiritual words, because the spiritual words, I mean, we can be abusive, and I've experienced it with spiritual words, right? You can tell somebody love and light, and it would be like a middle finger. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, sometimes, you know, the words are just cliches, right? So I want to take that out of it, and bring the light and the love, but I also want to put play in that, choice in that. So the spiritual part of it is the playfulness of it, the creative the creative part of it, the freedom to speak. You know, the freedom to make a mistake, because when you're practicing, you're making mistakes, right? So it's like the freedom to make mistakes, and as much as it's like light and love, and you know, again, I love the way the Course in Miracles and the way Mastery, the language, but sometimes it's just it's like I just want to hear regular English. I just want to experience it, you know, in a different kind of way, you know, the kind of the language that everybody's speaking, you know, and so that's what I feel like with this card. It's like love and light. Well, it's loving when we're playing, where we get the freedom to play. It feels light. We're full of light when we're doing what we want to do. Right? Because I want to take the love and the light and the spiritual words and take the old, we're taking the old paradigm out of that, right? So there's such as the sense of duty. There's a sense of, you know, I must volunteer rather than do it because we want to. So when I saw that, that's what I felt like. So I wanted to really just play with this right now. It's like love and light is a whole different meaning right now. It's about freedom. It's about, you know, again, making mistakes, experimenting, playing with stuff. And then this is a beautiful, and it's about options, right? Love and light, it's about, this speaks of the nature of what we really are. We're naturally love, we're naturally light. This is the I am. And we're vast, and we've been so conditioned and so indoctrinated, we don't even know sometimes if we even have options or what our options are, you know. Consider the career possibilities that are open to you. I'll get back to him. Let me finish this up. Writing. Writing comes out. Oh, there's an angel. There's an angel over. So it's like we're writing and we're speaking as channels. That's what I feel like. It's like we get to relax because it's like our yoke is easy, right? Our burden is light. And that's what I feel like with this. It's like we get to relax because we're so accustomed to that put your nose to the grindstone, that kind of idea. And I'm really feeling like with these cards that the whole thing, this whole energy, it's about being lighter about it. It's about playfulness, right? We have this work mentality, this work. We got to play to balance it out. We really got, and we naturally do better when we're playing, right? It's like we're in the zone. It's like how many times when we were kids and we started playing like at noon, and the next thing you know it's like 5 o'clock and it's dinner time and we have to go in to eat. But we don't want to because we're still building. We want to see the finished product, right? And it's like, so basically we're in the zone when we're playing, even in our work. So it's not about taking the work out of it. It's not about not being responsible. It's about being joyful through it and living by our nature, right? Which is very healing. So these cards are so dutiful, but I'm not feeling. That's not what I'm feeling. They're showing us a whole different. If I were to do these cards, I would bring more play into it. I wouldn't have this as a healer. I would have like a guy with a flute. Oh, that's where I'm getting the flute, right? Joyful, leading a band or something. That's healing. Showing people the way to a happier time. That's healing, right? So I'm really trying to take the duty out of it. And again, author. There is a spirit guide, right? There's someone guiding, making it easier. You have a book inside of you that wishes to be expressed. Make the time to write it. You have a book inside of you. Even if you don't write it, you have a book inside of you that wishes to be expressed. And this card pops up. This card pops up. Dream it. That's the book. It might not be in a physical, right? But there's a story in you that you want to dream up and experience, right? And then heart's desire. And then we're going to leave it there. Heart's desire. Oh, I made it to 2 hours. Heart's desire. The angels are supporting, guiding, and protecting you as your dreams become a reality. Protecting. We got our protecting, right? And then we have our sanctuary. Protecting. Right? An energetic, we're learning how to create energetic sanctuaries. Right? So we can experience, so we're safe. Can't really get passionate if we don't feel safe, right? We're just not. Safety first. Safety first. So, all right, you guys, that was fun. That was fun. So I know we're gonna go into that. So the subjects that I want to really develop is purification, transmutation, right? Transmuting. We got to destroy the old before we can start the new, right? Anytime anybody does any kind of work on an old building, they have to clean it up, clear it out, empty it out, knock down walls, right? to rebuild, or even just completely. I used to love to watch buildings implode. And then, so there's that idea. And then we're going to be looking into the masculine. There's been a lot of attention on the feminine. And I'm not feeling that balance between, and we, for those of us who are heterosexual, I'm just having trouble with my words here. We sure do like men. We sure do like men, right? And for those who are gay, you sure do like men. You know what I'm saying? And for those who all the different, you get it. I don't need to, say all that. You get it, right? We love men. It's like, yesterday I was just like looking at men, and I'm just like in a whole new way, and through their innocence, and through who are you really? If you got to be you, if it's safe to be you, what would you be doing? How would you be different? If you got to be, if it was okay to be you, if it was safe to be you as a man, your, that hardwiring, the way you are as a masculine, as predominantly masculine with masculine parts. And that gets so, with the transgender and all that, and of course you got to decide for yourself, of course, and that's the beauty of it. You have this you guys are trailblazing a whole new paradigm, right? And we're just like, okay, you just help us know where you're at, and guide us through this, and where's your boundaries, and where, that kind of stuff. What do you need? How do we support you? And that kind of stuff. So, but the whole point is that we really love men. We really do. And whatever we love always liberates. So as I spent the day yesterday, with this new idea after watching the rewilding on the forbidden masculine, right? And I haven't gone into the dark masculine. And that's how it all started. I wanted to really go into that dark masculine, so men can take that guilt and that shame out of it, right? And use whatever that is to as they move up and out of it, into with their choices, right? What they really want, with their heart's desires. Who am I? And that's what we're really going to look into, and transmuting the old. Because for us to really be able to allow that and to be a supportive, I'm just feeling a stream moving up, right? Like that dragon just moving up by the heart. We're going to move up by the heart. We got to destroy that old. So we're going to be looking into that, those ideas. And then vulnerability and a sanctuary and sanctuaries. What does that mean? So those are the ideas that I'm going to be focusing on. And then I'm going to be, of course, using the Way of Mastery, because that's through there's going to be a foundation of the Way of Mastery, which is about freedom. The Way of Mastery really is about, you are God. That's what it is. I and my Father are one. That's the whole premise. You've never been separated, and you have within you have the unlimited freedom to choose what you want to create. That's what the Way of Mastery is. Really, it is. It's about breaking down the old paradigm and creating what you really want. So that will be the foundation. I won't be reading from it. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to play with the meditations, so we can get in there and destroy or dissolve, okay? So we got to get away from the old, so we can have the new. And we want that safety, right? The safety to practice, the safety to really desire what we truly desire. So that is what we're going to do. And I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. I think I just missed one day, and I'm trying to do 5 days a week. So I'm gonna go see. I might go hang out and go do some Mother's Day stuff. So I don't know if I mentioned. I think I probably did. My mom, they buried her like on Wednesday, and then all of a sudden Mother's Day. It's like, what? Like, are you kidding me? It's like I'm just feeling. I was just, I had to go through my grieving process, and now it's just like this is cleanup season. It's like you don't get a break. Okay, I'm low on battery. I love you guys. Okay, bye-bye. Out of here. I'm out of here.